So so I haven't done one of these in a while, and last time I did, the video did not do well on the channel. I've only done it one other time, and it didn't go well. So why am I doing this? None of you are asking. Well, basically, living alone is boring. I've already played video games, done some actual work stuff, improvised the piano enough to actually write a whole damn album, and then proceeded to, not remember any of it, or write down any of it, or prepare for composition tomorrow. Anyway, here we have an MCU tier list with a heck of a lot of projects to keep me busy, and hopefully you too. This is Plasmatic Productions, and I'm a little more cynical than I normally am, so I guess you guys can listen to this in the background of your other daily activities or whatever you do. Or if you have the time, watch it on your browser, I guess, or app. That's what the kids are doing these days, right? They watch on the phones. Alright, let's try to do this in as much chronological order as I can remember, and I'm gonna mess up in the middle. So includes the old Spider-Man movies, because I guess they're technically MCU now. But that logic, are all Marvel movies MCU now because of Deadpool? Whatever. All right, so let's start things off with Spider-Man. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, enjoyment is how I'm going off of this. I'm the kind of guy who was raised in a household to enjoy all superhero media, because remember the time where there wasn't any? So I've changed the titles up a bit to just be like enjoyment and make things, more wholesome. And some things I haven't watched, so I should probably make a category of haven't watched. There we go. But I've seen most things, and I assume that most things that you've seen I've also seen. So we'll start off with Spider-Man. And let's just be honest, I love this movie. I wouldn't put it any higher just because it's a little dated with the technology, and I'm not a big fan of the social drama side of things, because I feel like it's not as fleshed out as it could have been. Don't get me wrong, I love some rom-com-y stuff, but that ain't it. Alright, next up is Spider-Man 2. And I'm going to be pretty basic and put that up in just mastery. It takes everything that's great about the first movie and elevates it to a whole new level. I love Doc Ock. The Spider-Man No More story is just fantastic. And then, where's Spider-Man 3? Here it is. I enjoy this. And these are all subject to move once we see, what else we have to put in here. But, I enjoy the movie. There's nothing particularly terrible that stands out to me to get in the way of my enjoyment, but we'll see if new things come to mind later. Alright, let's go to Iron Man. And here it is. Iron Man. I love this movie. It's fantastic. It kickstarted the MCU, kind of redefined the Marvel title for a new generation, because at that time it was pretty much just Spider-Man that was somewhat successful, and X-Men had kind of faltered by then with X3 The Last Stand or whatever. So it was great. It created the MCU, right? And along those lines, Iron Man 2, I'm tempted to go to the I enjoy this or the enjoyment is faltering line, just because it's a bit of a guilty pleasure movie watch, I'm going to be honest. So I'm going to put it up with I enjoy this for now, because while, the villains, I enjoy watching Whiplash for no good reason. It's just somehow cathartic. I have no idea why. It's kind of stupid in a lot of places, but what can you do, right? Thor. I like the first Thor movie way more than a lot of people do, but I'm also putting it in I enjoy this. I love the basic idea of Thor being on Earth. I thought that Thor was funnier pre the Taika Waititi era, The more of like the stone-faced, kind of brute humor it fit him more. Oh, and I forgot the Incredible Hulk. I do not remember this movie. I remember not enjoying it incredibly, so I'm gonna put it in enjoyment as faltering. I'm not super into the big, monster battle genre, I guess. So if anyone has qualms with that, let me know. But I don't think anyone's too hung up on the Incredible Hulk. All right, what came after that? Is it? Oh, it's the first Avenger, I think. Yeah. So the first Avenger, again, like Thor, I enjoy this movie probably more than it deserves, and so I'm gonna put it up there. And I really enjoy this. Actually, I want to put it up to I love this just because there's just a lot more to. There's something that's I connect to about that movie. Also, the mastery of cinema. I'm gonna just knock this down to a more traditional, like just best of the best, because I feel like calling many of these mastery of cinema might be a little too pretentious. It's like I shouldn't have bothered with that in the first place. What happened after Captain America? They did the first Avengers movie, right? Where is that? Am I just blind? Because I am. Oh, here it is. I am quite blind, but that's just my vision. Okay. First Avengers movie. I love that movie. It's not the best of the best. It's not. Honestly, like the third act is kind of what makes it all really work. Loki is so mischaracterized in this movie. It's not even funny. Hawkeye has not had a good costume until his show, and even then it's not great, not purple enough. But it started it all, so I have to put it in the I love this category. And I want to say what came next was... Oh, I forgot about the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I'm just going to put those in here as I enjoy Amazing Spider-Man, and my enjoyment really falters in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. The suit's great. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone are fantastic. Love them. Maybe I'll do a Spider-Man ranking video one of these days, and I'll talk about them. But just as a film, I know there's a lot of studio pressure there to do certain things, and it fell short. I still want to see Amazing Spider-Man 3, though. Andrew Garfield's probably one of my favorite actors, especially after Tick, Tick, Boom. I'm a singer, so I love the story of Jonathan Larson. And I'm way off track. Half of you guys will not know what I'm talking about. Let's go back to Iron Man 3, which I'm going to also put on the it's got to go down to enjoyment is faltering. I enjoy a lot of Jon Favreau's work. I love that movie Chef. First few seasons of The Mandalorian. But I say first few as if there's been a whole bunch. But I like The Mandalorian. But I feel like the Iron Man movies each kind of lost a little bit of something. And Iron Man 3 is just... It's strange, to say the least. And it feels like a conclusion to the story of Iron Man. But they still want to keep him around, so they had to kind of undo any of the character development that he did in that movie. So it feels like it's not really impactful on anything. And I want to say that Thor: The Dark World was next, or maybe Guardians, but it's gonna just come down to whichever one I find first. There's so many in here. I'll do the Netflix shows at the end because I haven't seen all of them. Oh, Thor: The Dark World, right here. Okay. Also, enjoyment is faltering. Kind of similar problems to Iron Man 3. It lost a lot of what made the first one so good. I preferred the directing in the first Thor movie. I loved the real like Shakespearean style costumes and the gold hued lighting. But the Dark World, it's dark and gritty. Doesn't fit Thor, I think, in the same way that over humor doesn't fit Thor. And the first movie, I think, struck the balance really well, but the second one kind of fell short. And what did I say was the next one? I think Guardians of the Galaxy came out before Age of Ultron, I want to say. If it didn't, so sorry, but I've never actually been the biggest Guardians fan. I know, fake Marvel fan or whatever, but I enjoy this. There's a lot of fantastic scenes that I love. Ronan is just not a very good bad guy, in my opinion. And as I've gotten older, I've started to enjoy that band of guys, a little more. But I'm tempted. I can't put it on the same level as Iron Man 2, and I'll put it up to I Love This because I really do enjoy that movie. Yeah. I'm almost considering putting down some of these movies one more tier, and I enjoy this, but we'll see. We'll see when we get there. I think it's Age of Ultron next. No. It's Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier, of course, and that's all the way at the best of the best. I really enjoy those gritty Mission Impossible style movies, or James Bond, and this is a fantastic, spy thriller thing you do, and just had a really great time with it. Love the Winter Soldier as a character too. It's like I've always loved Red Hood from DC, and Winter Soldier's a carbon copy. So, yeah. All right, what was next? After that? It was Age of Ultron. Yeah, went right into that. And this is also very much a guilty pleasure movie, in that this was the first MCU movie I ever saw in theaters back in 2015. I saw Fan Four Stick, as that was my first superhero movie I ever saw in a theater, and I thought it was the best thing in the world, which looking back, it really isn't. Age of Ultron, however, hasn't really lost its place of just pure enjoyment in my eyes, so I'm going to put it up and I Love This, which a lot of people will disagree with, but I think Ultron's a great villain. I enjoy all the supporting characters and the main ones, so there you go, Age of Ultron. You win my nostalgia. And Ant-Man, I also love this movie. I think it's fantastic. Really enjoy it, and it was a fun time. Just the sequels, unfortunately, for me at least, did not live up to the original. Okay, I feel like Doctor Strange was in here somewhere, which again, I really love this movie. A lot of the movies I feel like are going to end up in this I love this category. Because while, what's his name, Mads Mikkelsen, as the villain Caecilius, I feel like he's a bit wasted there. Just the entire story and character of Stephen Strange and most of his supporting cast is just so entertaining to watch. Also, these are not like ranked within each section because I'm not going to bother doing that unless I eventually make an actual ranking video of the MCU, but who knows if that'll ever happen. And apart from... Wait, Doctor Strange came out after Civil War, though. Well. Sucks to finish it yourself. Oh, wow, there's not that many pre-Endgame movies left. And so I want to just say Civil War now, I think. Civil War? Or Ant-Man and the Wasp. One of the two. Yeah, Civil War. Which I'm putting this up with some of the best, just because I think that movie is fantastic and really fun. Again, it's one of the first-ish ones I saw in theaters back in, I want to say, 2016. And the old Russo brothers style of directing really vibes with me. And again, it's another cool Avengers movie. And I'm thinking about this. I want to bump up the first Spider-Man movie also to best of the best, because I kind of want to fill up that top category as well. Because I'm thinking about, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin and how much I love that. So Let's do Ant-Man and the Wasp next, which is another enjoyment is faltering movie. I had some trouble sitting through that movie, to be honest, and it's one of the... I did that movie way too early. I realize that now. There's a bunch in the middle. But I remember this movie coming out just a bit before the pandemic. Oh, that movie comes out after Infinity War. That's really my bad. Okay, that was a bad choice to do that if I'm doing this chronologically. I remember just for the pandemic, I was thinking about this movie because the trailers basically told the entire movie for me. So at the time that we got to the theaters, all the good jokes we'd already seen them, and yeah, I never really bought the characters. I don't know, this wasn't for me. Guardians Volume 2. I'm gonna put that in. I enjoy this. A lot of the jokes really fell flat for me. So there's something tonally off about the movie for me. I loved Ego, though. I thought he was a fantastic villain, and there's a lot of things to love. So we'll put that there. Remember Black Panther was teased at the end of Civil War, so we'll do him. And this is really one of the best. Chadwick Boseman's performance was incredible, as was Michael B. Jordan. The entire cast, the story was amazing. Of course, there's some spotty CGI here or there, but to be honest, bad CGI has never really bothered me that much. It's just, it's whatever. I look back to the old Batman 66 TV show with Adam West dancing, and I'm just like, you know what? Any of this is fantastic. And then Spider-Man Homecoming is another movie that I really love. I never really liked Iron Man being part of the whole story, and I prefer my Spider-Man to be, especially when they're a teenager, to be a little less tech heavy. Like, sure, they should have the spider signal or the spider tracers, but it should be something that we see him making. That's what I loved about The Amazing Spider-Man, was seeing him make his own tech and do his own research. This Tom Holland Spider-Man feels more like things kind of got handed to him on a platter, which I'm not saying they were necessarily, but it's just the way things kind of felt. Alright, now let's throw in Thor Ragnarok. And I also love this movie. I remember enjoying it a lot less than most people did. I felt the pacing was really off. The sense of urgency was kind of strange. And apart from that final scene with Thor using his lightning powers, none of the moments that were supposed to be kind of awe-inspiring really did it for me. I don't know. But I'm looking at some of these other movies in this category, and I'm just really wondering, are these all on the same level? And I'm kind of considering bumping up Avengers. And we'll just leave it at that. We'll bump down Avengers. Man, I really don't know, because I feel like I've been generous to a lot of the ones in this category, and enjoy this category, and then I've been... We'll see how this goes. Now I think these are all in chronological order, which is great for me. I get a sip of water. I've been talking for I don't know how many minutes straight now. There's no timer on this thing. Water ASMR. Okay. Let's do Infinity War. And that is a very easy best of the best. We're going to put Endgame up there too while we're at it. And we're going to put Captain Marvel. And the enjoyment is faltering a lot. Because I love Coulson. I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I love Samuel L. Jackson. And I enjoy Brie Larson too. It's all great castings. It's just... And Jude Law. How did this movie not work? But... it didn't. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. So I love the effects though for Captain Marvel. My superhero, Plasmatic, which is what I named the channel and myself after. I would want the powers to look basically just like Captain Marvel's. Now, Far From Home, I love way more than it honestly deserves. I'm putting it in best of the best because it perfectly captures that teen summer energy, the teen summer thing that I've gone through plenty of times myself, and I'm honestly very nostalgic for the old days of living in Europe, with with living with a roommate, a friend, and dealing with girl troubles. And in this way, it felt that the Iron Man's presence in this movie worked a lot better, I feel, than it did in Homecoming. So, yeah. Anyway, that's all the Phase 1 Infinity Saga movies out of the way. And now we got to get into a bunch of the TV shows. And so, WandaVision, I'm putting up with I Love This. I think it's got I love this more not on the I had such a great time watching this show, but in the this is an incredible concept and it was executed very well. It doesn't exactly scratch my superhero itch, but I thought it was very well thought out and deserves placement among these guys. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I really liked a lot more. I think more than a lot of people did. But some things did fall, just felt a little unresolved, and I was really hoping more for a buddy cop kind of show. And I know I shouldn't judge this off of my expectations or hoping of what it was, but the Flag Smashers were really not good villains or well thought out, so I'm going to put that in I enjoy this, but I really, because I love the Captain America scenes with Sam Wilson. Sam Wilson is Captain America. There's no questioning that. But, yeah. Loki, best of the best. We all know why. Shang-Chi, I think it's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. For me, just personally, it was fantastic to see an Asian superhero East Asian superhero on the screen, because that's something that I've always kind of been like looking for up there. A little tired of thinking that my only job in Hollywood could be a dishwasher or laundromat guy, or every once in a while the teacher who gets killed off or something. So I really loved that movie. I thought the relationship between Shang-Chi and his dad, played by Tony Leung, the Wenwu, I think his name was fantastic. Wenwu is like a top tier MCU villain for me. So yeah, if you guys disagree with my choice about Shang-Chi, it's up to you, but I have to put Black Widow, and enjoyment is faltering. I did not have as much fun in that movie as I was really hoping to, and I think it's saying something that the two female-led superhero films have not been received well, and I think that means that Marvel has to put in more effort, or something is wrong there, because I really want to see some fantastic films like Wonder Woman. I loved Wonder Woman, and I feel like more films that have that kind of care and effort put into them should be up there with the rest. And it's saddening to me to put these guys down here when they really should be so much higher. What If? I have to put this. I think Justin loved this. No, best of the best. It's had some of the most interesting stories, some really dark stuff from like the zombie episodes and all that, and it's really well done. I wouldn't. Best of the best is a very. All these categories are very loose. There's a big wide range in all of them. Maybe there's some crossover that shouldn't be here or there, but this is a tier list on the internet for fun. If you get mad about this, or you're taking it that seriously, I'm actually interested to know why. I'm actually happy that you're passionate. I actually it is very nice. Hawkeye. I also loved Hawkeye. I thought that Kate Bishop was a fantastic, really fun character. I love seeing Kingpin return, even if he wasn't exactly his formidable self from Daredevil. But it was a really fun show. Great Christmas rewatch. And The Eternals. I really enjoyed that movie. I really did. Sure, it was a little strange and hard to follow at times, but I am not entirely sure why people didn't like it. It didn't get banned like somewhere because it had like kind of a sex scene in it for like 2 seconds with no nudity at all. It was, people get outraged over so many things. But I thought it was actually a very good, interesting movie. I'm getting a little tired of the evil Superman trope. I love Homelander from The Boys and all that, but can these Superman characters just be Superman? Especially when the character is actually called Clark Kent Superman. Looking at you, DC. And now we have probably one of my more controversial decisions is to put No Way Home on and Love This and not Best of the Best. I thought that there was a lot of great, really fun moments with, the returning actors. Had so much fun to see them, seeing them and all that. But there was just some things kind of missing from this. Kind of the fact that these aren't Tom's bad guys, to use them as... It's not even that. It's just... It felt like just a lack of connection between the characters, or even just story beats, other than just to have the audience be like, oh, look, I know who that is. It pulls on my heartstrings. I remember who this was. And don't get me wrong, I was right there with you guys, but I left the theater a little disappointed, especially in the final fight scene. I did not enjoy the hybrid Spider-Man suit that Tom's wearing in that fight, or really the color grading, or the fact that the entire last fight is just so poorly lit that you can't really see or enjoy much of it, which is a little sad. And I would have liked to see a full Sinister Six. I don't know, some of these are nitpicks, but I feel like there's also not enough redeeming qualities of the actual movie for me to really think of it any higher. Venom, I unashamedly enjoy this. Venom 2, I also enjoy this. I have no real problems with them. They know exactly what they are. They are monster movies, and yeah, great for them. This video is going to be so long, isn't it? Daredevil is... Let's speedrun these. Daredevil is best of the best. If you don't believe me, watch all of Daredevil, and you will understand. It is... There's a reason why everyone wants to see Daredevil Born Again. It's just going to be fantastic. Moon Knight. I really loved that show. Had a great time. Oscar Isaac is, again, one of my favorite actors. Had a really great time watching that. And Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. My enjoyment was kind of faltering throughout this movie. I know a lot of people didn't like Wanda as a bad guy, or her motivations. I was watching this with my mom, and she was actually kind of talking about how it did actually make sense, all of this stuff that worked. And I didn't like the slaughtering the Illuminati scene. I feel like that didn't really work well with me. I was never really happy with it when I heard the leak, and then, I don't know, it again felt just like kind of cameo baiting. No real purpose to the story. Miss Marvel, I enjoy this. Again, I thought the villains were kind of really lacking, but Kamala Khan and all of her supporting cast were really fun, really great, and it's a great movie that... I mean, it was a great show. Sorry, not movie. Great show that just kind of... It hits the right spots for a teenager like me. I'm a little worried looking at the Marvels trailer because I feel like they're messing up a bit of her characterization and making her more of a kid than she really should be. But Thor: Love and Thunder has to be right down there at the bottom. My enjoyment is far too minimal to register. I did not have a good time with this movie. There are a billion video essays out there about why Thor: Love and Thunder does not work. And honestly, watch any of them and you'll probably hit most of my points. Because comedy isn't funny, doesn't work. Characterizations and stuff doesn't work. It tries to retcon so much in so little time. I honestly, if they had just done a Thor rom-com, which I know most people wouldn't have actually wanted to see, I would have been absolutely fine with that. I love rom-coms. I would have loved to see like Notting Hill, Thor movie or whatever. Just to vary up the tone. But Gore the God Butcher was well acted by Christian Bale with what he was given, and there's some cool aesthetic fight scenes, but not much else. Alright, now in the I haven't watched bits, we have Defenders, Iron Fist, Punisher, though I love the Punisher in Daredevil, I thought he was great. Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, She-Hulk is down here. I would put it here if Daredevil was in like the entire show, but he wasn't. Didn't watch I Am Groot because I'm not 4. Legends is here. I also have not watched Morbius. If any one of you wants to legitimately recommend Morbius to me, please let me know in the comments. If any of you are watching at this point, I have no idea how long this video is going to be, and I'm sorry if you're still here. And Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I loved that movie. It was great. A really touching tribute. I love the character of Shuri, and Namor was fantastic. I've never dug the color grading of the Black Panther movies, but that's such a nitpick that I can't put it lower because of that. Werewolf by Night. To be fair, I was kind of on my phone dealing with like homework stuff while I was watching this, but I remember really enjoying it. And I thought they should do more special presentations like that. I thought it was really well done. The holiday special, I also enjoy that. It was fun, touching, kind of heartwarming and all that. And I'm going to put Ant-Man Quantumania in the same realm. It's nothing fantastic. Kang is fantastic. Jonathan Majors does a great job. He's a fantastic actor. And so there's just a lot to enjoy on that side of things, but like Evangeline Lilly's The Wasp does next to nothing in the movie, which is really unfortunate, especially after she was, she's in the byline of the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp, but she did nothing. And there's just a lot of strange parts of this movie. Alright. Why is Kraven the Hunter on here? That hasn't come out yet. So why? Oh my god. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It is one of the best movies I've ever seen. And definitely one of the best MCU projects. It's fantastic. It's not still in theaters, but if you can go watch that anywhere it is streaming yet, or when it comes out on streaming, make sure you catch that one. Fitting conclusion to James Gunn's time with Marvel. And finally, Secret Invasion. We are only a few episodes in, 2 episodes in, I think, 2 or 3 as of, I think 3 episodes in, yeah, as of recording this, and I really enjoy it so far. Spoilers, no, I won't do spoilers for this show. There's the major character death that everyone's a little iffy about, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. Oh my god, so I just spent how much time ranking however many projects this was in the MCU? We've come a long way. What's presentation mode? Ooh, very nice. Okay. Yeah. So that was fun. Alright. Do the YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if I should tier list or rank anything else. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.